Hello, I'm Ania Lichtarowicz and welcome to Somewhere on Earth, the Global Tech Podcast. It is Tuesday, the 11th of November, and we are in Lisbon at Web Summit. Unsurprisingly, AI continues to dominate this event in ways you just cannot imagine. It has now become an integral part of many people's lives as well. How a business introduces, integrates and develops AI will determine if it will succeed or fail. No longer will AI be just an assistant though, helping ease some of our mundane tasks or make others more efficient. It'll be key to scaling and building those businesses. But the question is, should we fear its arrival? I know many people do. Should we embrace the change and not only go along for the ride, but learn to control it and use it in the best possible way? Well, around this table here in the podcast booth at Web Summit in Lisbon, we have three people who are doing just that. First of all, we have Carrol Chang, CEO of Andela, and Nico de Luis, co-founder of Shakers. Also joining us is Petra Sundell, founder and CEO of Upbeater. Carrol, let's start with you. You are now at the helm of this startup after a career that's focused on improving work for millions. Tell me a little bit about how you got to where you are now.
I'm the daughter of Korean immigrants who settled in New York in the 1970s, and my whole life I've been fascinated by the power of an opportunity. People will leave their home countries, they'll go somewhere else to start over just for the chance to build a better life. And so the power of an opportunity has always carried a lot of weight with me throughout growing up. Before coming to Andela, I was at Uber, where I led global driver and courier operations for almost 7 million people around the world who rely on Uber to make a living. And I joined Andela because Andela also provides life-changing opportunities, but for software developers. And we are at a moment now with AI where the entire profession and job of a software developer is being rewritten. And we have this moment to empower that entire group of people to upskill and to reskill so that they can maintain life-changing economic opportunities by getting remote technology jobs. Andela operates in over 135 countries. We've got developers mostly in the global south, mostly in Africa and Latin America, and we match them with life-changing remote job opportunities, mostly in North America and Europe.
Nico, tell me a little bit about Shakers and yourself. Shakers makes me think of something disruptive, as if you're kind of like really literally want to shake things up. So what does Shakers do?
Exactly. I'm just one of the four co-founders at Shakers, and one of the things that we have in common, although we're also friends from a long time, is the fact that we wanted to shake things up and to reinvent the way work is taking place these days. So this is why we got together back in 2021 after having several gigs on our own. Each of us have founded several companies, several tech startups before Shakers. And what we have been doing since then is putting together a workforce orchestration platform that is allowing companies to connect with tech freelancers that are highly skilled, and so they can focus on complex projects. And we're doing this from Madrid.
Petra, tell me more about yourself and what you do.
At Upbeater, we build something that we call human AI managers. And it's a hybrid human AI employee. We basically do that to leverage the power of AI efficiency with human expertise, human nuances, human overseeing and management. And we actually also come from a background working with freelancers and in an agency model, helping people work in the new way and get into the workspace of today. And what we saw was that it's hard for them to actually get job opportunities, but they couldn't do everything by themselves or didn't have enough money to hire people. So when AI came along, we saw an opportunity to actually build something that was affordable enough for them to use and to grow through with the help of an AI employee, but also with the trust of humans.
Thank you all. Now, Carrol, you mentioned that you are really tapping into the global south. I want to ask you really how those workforces are reacting to the rise of AI within their jobs.
I think that for software developers as an entire profession, not necessarily limited to the global south, but I'm actually seeing this with developers in the United States and really globally. There's a collective grieving that is happening right now. Normally, when new technologies come out, we think about adoption in an S curve. And with AI, and particularly with software developers, I think that we're going to see adoption follow the shape of a J, not an S. And the J is the shape of a change curve or a grief journey. And in the beginning of a big change or during grief, you experience shock and denial. After that, you fall down into a pit of despair. And you have to get out of that pit of despair to get to acceptance and then ultimately to thriving. And I think what's happening right now is that we see all these headlines talking about the death of the software developer. AI is going to kill these jobs. And so then what do we expect other than for the people who are in these jobs to mourn? And so there is a lot of shock. There's a lot of denial and grieving. When we at Andela launched our first AI Academy program to help developers upskill into AI, we hit send, and I was just waiting for thousands of signups into this program last year. We have over 17,000 high-skilled technologists in our network. We have over 150,000 more junior developers. So I was expecting thousands of signups. And in reality, we had like a couple hundred. And I thought, what is going on? And this is when I realized that software developers, in the beginning at least, have not been really embracing AI and have been more hesitant and skeptical of it. So I think that what we need to do is we need to set clear expectations for what the change is going to look like. We have to say, here's what the new job is going to entail. Here's how you should use AI. You shouldn't be scared of it taking your job. It's going to enhance your job. It's going to turn you into a superhuman developer. And if we help people set the right expectations and we give them the right resources, I think they can get on that acceptance journey to thrive. But without that, I think it's only natural that people are going to be in a state of shock or grieving.
Well, that's one thing that I kind of liken it to, having faced redundancy myself at the BBC a number of times. You're doing a great job and someone high up decides that they want to change a show or they want to change a presenter or they're going to move the departments again. And you do kind of feel a loss, don't you? And it's very hard as an individual to kind of say, okay, I know I'm good at what I do, I know that, but now I've got to learn something new. Is that adoption of AI, do you think people are going through a similar process to that?
I think they are, but I think that when you look at what AI is actually enabling developers to do, it is taking some of the more rote tasks away. And I think that our other guests here will also agree, right, Nico and Petra, that AI is enabling humans, thinking, breathing humans who are creative problem solvers to do higher order work. And so for the developer, what this means is that the handwriting of code, yes, can be taken over by AI, but the systems thinking, the problem solving, the architecture problems, the kinds of things that actually really define a senior developer are not being taken away by AI. I actually don't know if they ever will. But what developers now need to do is understand what tasks will AI do for me and what will it free me up to do. And when you really dig into that and start using not just the coding assistants, but the coding agents, you realize that actually this is quite freeing. And it makes me enjoy my job a bit more. It frees me up to do the higher order work.
I just have to explain to our listeners that we're sat next to stage 4, which is a pretty big stage here at Web Summit, and despite a few little barriers, the sound is getting through. I think they're about to start their afternoon sessions there. And you've got the AI Academy, Carrol. So you are really looking to take that workforce that you have in the Global South, many developers, and prep them and get them ready for that skill change.
That's right. The organic rate of adoption of AI is simply not going to meet the pace of the demands of the AI era. I think that if we look at that normal J curve or S curve, and the rate at which companies need AI fluent developers, we're just simply not going to be ready. And so there have to be really concerted efforts to create AI fluency en masse. That is what we're doing at Andela. It's one of our biggest focuses right now. We are embarking on creating the world's largest AI fluent, enterprise ready developer base. I say AI fluent and enterprise ready because it's actually not okay to just be AI fluent. We don't want you vibe coding walls of code, creating a lot of tech debt and code bloat where it's going to be very hard for a human to unravel what you did. We need developers who know how to use AI to build code, but also can work in the enterprise. So they know how systems, architecture, all of those things work, and so they're ready to not just use AI to be more productive, but they actually can work in larger technology systems. And that is what we're focused on. We have a lot of different trainings and boot camps that we're starting right now, and we plan to scale this out to our entire network next year.
AI fluency, how do you define it?
To be AI fluent, and it's a bit interchangeable with AI native, it means that when you are doing your work and you're crafting your work product, that you start with AI and you know exactly what machines can do and what you can do. You are an expert at orchestrating the marriage between human labor, which is yourself, and synthetic labor, which is the coding assistant or the coding agent. To be AI fluent means that you know exactly what to tell the machine to do, how it's going to output the work, and when it outputs it, you understand how to interpret and how to integrate the outputs.
Do you agree with that definition, Nico, that that's what AI fluency is?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's all around, as Carrol was saying, understanding how to collaborate, right, with these new systems and with these new tools. It's a little bit connected to what it used to be like digital literacy, right, like back in the day, but now it feels that it's all around AI. But yeah, I think that's perfect definition of it.
So tell me a little bit more about Shakers, because I kind of have this vision of like a pick and mix sweet counter that you used to go to a child and you say, oh, I want these sweeties and I want these sweeties, and then you go to the shopkeeper and you know he weighs it and you pay for it and you have delicious sweets. But you're in effect doing something I imagine quite similar, but with freelancers in tech, who are picked by algorithms, and then you provide them to companies. Explain how it all works.
Exactly. I was actually enjoying what Carrol was saying around freedom, because we internally called freelancers free workers, and we have this idea that these are people that actually want to work in a different manner, that are looking for more independence, that are looking for more flexibility, and we're trying to create a system which is much more liquid than the one that existed before, right? So the idea is that companies can publish their needs in our platform, can tell us what they actually are looking for when they know. If they don't know, because they're not as technical, which happens as well, they understand the outcome but not necessarily what needs to happen in between, we also guide them. We have put together a number of conversational agents that can guide them through the process of extracting what they actually need to happen, and that gets converted into the different members of the team that we would suggest to them, right? And then on the background, what is happening is that out of our entire community of vetted freelancers, which we currently have around 10,000 based out of Europe, we would select the ones that would have the highest level of affinity to the project, but we also try to connect it with more soft bits, such as like the values of the company, like cultural behaviors within the organization that have been shared with us, in order to make sure that they're going to be able to work well together with other free workers, but also with in-house members of the company, right? So yeah, we sort of do the selection for them, but they always have the last word, obviously.
And it must be quite a complex method of you actually ensuring that your freelancers are up to the job when it comes to AI? Because you haven't got weekly team meetings that you haven't got a way of contacting them. The nature of the work is, as you said, free worker. They are free. How do you ensure that the people you have, those 10,000 people across Europe, how do you ensure that they are up to speed in the AI skills they need?
I agree with what Carrol was saying, and because we focus on senior freelancers, I think that these are people who are a little bit more on the proactive side of things, and they have actually been trying tools by themselves. So what we see is that freelancers are actually a good level of adoption when it comes to AI compared to traditional enterprises, because they are bound or restricted by compliance, but their legal teams, they need to make sure that the processes can actually be scaled within the organization. While you're looking at an individual free worker, he's by himself, right? So he needs to go to work, he needs to understand the tools, and he needs to get ready to stay relevant. So what we're seeing is that these guys are always on the forefront, but we're trying to help them a little bit and showing them the way by testing tools ourselves, gathering feedback, sharing that feedback across the community. So we're trying to make it a collaborative process where we are all learning together and sharing the learnings with the people within Sakers. But yeah, so far so good.
Now, people can't see this unless you're watching on our YouTube channel, but if you're just listening to the podcast, there's lots of nodding of heads around this table, like you're agreeing with, so far, what Carrol has been saying, what Nico's been saying. So now, Petra, let's see if the nodding of the heads continues. Explain to people really what you do with the AI. How's this really, because it is allowing companies that before couldn't use it to use it, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, technology, like we talked about here, can be hard to implement. It can be scary for both companies, but as well as freelancers. And I think, I do believe that everyone should get in and try it and play by themselves and build by themselves. So, but I also know that to actually implement it and do it in real life context, can feel very far from where you are today. So what we are allowing is that we come in and not just build the systems for them. We have already built AI agents or agentic workflows that we have human experts that manage and monitor, set it up and run. So it creates a certain safety that what we deliver is controlled by experts in the field. We particularly work with sales and marketing, so we have sales and marketing experts on the team. And it also, on top of that, gives this personal touch to the AI workflows.
So can you give me an example of something that you've done for a company? I'm just trying to kind of like visualize and understand fully what you're doing. What could you offer me to make my life so much easier?
Right, so if we go a bit more practical, we call our human AI managers Sales Sarah and Marketing Maggie. And just to make them a bit more human as well. So what Sales Sarah can do is basically help you find leads, qualify the leads, and contact potential leads or clients. So we do the pre-sales work so that cold leads, when they get to you, they are warmed up. On the marketing side, we do content creation for social media and posting in social media. So we do everything from actual planning to execution, and then we do the summary and follow up, and then we take those learnings from the outcome of the month and apply it to the next.
And how do you ensure it's right? Because I am a content creator, that's what we do, and it is so easy for the AI to get it wrong, and a mistake then perpetuates and perpetuates and perpetuates, and you go through and you think, I've been clever, I've told it to write me a post for LinkedIn and then for Facebook, and then you can see it's going through and through and through and through. How do you ensure, because obviously you can then spend just as much time checking everything as you would do if you just wrote it yourself anyway?
Yeah, no, 100%. And actually AI gave me a new last name the other day, and we've been working together for a year. I don't know where that come from, but you're right. It's not I see the capabilities of what AI can do, and it's amazing, but we are not yet there. So I got this question the other day, where do you see the challenge right now? Is it with the humans or with AI? And I would say, as for us, we're a startup. We are quite small yet. So for us, we don't have that big of a problems with humans so far. Instead, they sort of love that we are creating job opportunities, even though we are also, in a way, taking some job opportunities. But collaborating with that in that sense. And so I would say that the challenge is with AI, especially with content creation when it comes to image generation or video generation, because we are not there in terms of technology. I'm not going to argue that our technology is better than someone else's technology, because LLMs are simply not there yet. But it's happening a lot in the space, and it's amazing to see how fast it's growing. And our goal in this is to obviously see and work every day with what are the best models that are coming out now, what are the best technology, how can we implement that to lower the time that our humans need to spend reviewing and making sure that content is correct.
Carrol, now the whole concept of the team is changing, isn't it? What does a future agent-ready team look like, in your opinion?
For the history of human knowledge work, the atomic unit of work has been the human. And I think that in AI, the atomic unit of work is going to change from the human being to the task. What I envision is that large jobs will get broken up and unbundled into a series of tasks. And then AI systems can understand whether which a particular task is best done by a human or by AI first. In this way, I think that large jobs, let's call them technology transformations for a Fortune 500 company, that task, which normally might take 18 months and cost the client $10 million, can be scanned immediately by AI, broken up and unbundled into tasks, and then assigned to a mixed team of humans and agents. And then the humans and agents will work. And the best humans will do the tasks that are meant for humans, and the best agents will do the tasks that are meant for AI. And at the end, these tasks will be rebundled back together into the larger job. That's what I think an agent-ready future is going to be. It is going to be a system in which there is extreme organization and classification of work, where the atomic unit of work is no longer the FTE, but it is in fact the task.
That's quite a cultural change, isn't it? Petra, do you agree? You certainly were nodding at the beginning of that.
Yeah, I see this, and I think more in. I'm not a developer myself, and I'm speaking from a perspective that I don't know 100%, but I work a lot with developers as well, and I see that where we are right now with AI is that we're getting into like a process way of thinking. That's been the way developers think and we build, and breaking down tasks. And I see that cross all the way from the work that we do to the way we're getting paid. Lately, for example, like if you do consulting work or freelance work or so on, in specific areas mainly, they rather pay you by task completed. And this is something I think we need to create this model to actually not separate human work and AI work for now.
Nico, what do you think the one skill set is that people need to develop to survive this new landscape and not only survive but to flourish in it?
Sure. Just one comment on what was being said. I think that this would go one step further to organizations themselves, because the way that we're seeing is that organizations will get smaller and teams will get smaller and more specialized as well. So this whole idea of task, I think that it can also be taken up to, instead of having these large corporates which are doing a little bit of everything, like we would see smaller companies just focusing on one part of the value chain, right? So I was thinking about that while you were saying it. And around the skills, I think that adaptability is going to be key, right? Like instead of just having like this skill set that you have learned that you need to protect and you can make your living out of, I think that this is going to keep on changing because new tools would be put in front of you almost on a weekly basis, and you just need to learn how to cope with those and incorporate them into your toolkit, right? So I think that being adaptable, it's going to get more and more important.
I'll share one example on that. I completely agree on adaptability. I mentioned that at Andela, we launched our Andela AI Academy, and we have a number of boot camps going right now for developers to upskill into being generative AI fluent. And as we have this initial cohort of about 100 students going through, we are deeply analyzing how they are learning and who is becoming more versus less successful. And what we are seeing is that one of the strongest predictors of performance is not actual incoming ability as a developer, like your Python skills or anything like that. It's actually just your motivation to learn. And the people who are the most motivated and eager to learn and make the mistakes, those are the ones that our instructors are identifying as ultimately becoming the most fluent the most quickly.
So you can definitely see that a change in skill set is needed.
Yes.
And now, Petra, what about the skill set of marketing Maggie and sales Sue? Because AI is changing so fast, isn't it? How are you managing to keep them at the forefront of the technology, but in a reliable way, so those mistakes don't happen?
Yeah. So I think it's important. It's very important for us that we build a system that where we're not reliant on specific technology or specific tools, that the tools can be replaced. So rather seeing it for the business perspective and the outcome that we want to produce, rather than the exact technology that we're building. Because, I agree with adaptability. It needs to, it goes so quickly. So if we are building ourselves into one specific tool or technology, we're going to be outrun by other competitors.
Now we're coming to the end of the main show soon, so I just want to ask you, I've seen how the AI tech startups have changed in their thoughts and their ideas since this time last year in Lisbon, through the other web summits I've been to. How do you think your businesses are going to change as AI moves on? I mean, because it is moving quickly. Who wants to go first? I see like 3 faces looking at me going, oh.
I think that demand for legacy software development skills is going to go away. Now, importantly, I want to call out that I do not mean that the job of the software developer is going away, but the demand for legacy skills, the handwriting of code, is going to go away. And so then what takes that place? It is AI fluency. It's understanding how to be the senior technologist who oversees the agentic fleet of coders below you. It's understanding how to take code that was produced by a machine and integrate it into larger enterprise systems. Those are skills that we have not seen AI be able to do, and I don't think that that's coming actually in our near future, if at all. And so for Andela, because we are in the business of matching software developers with remote technical jobs, we need to understand that the demand for legacy software development skills will decline, but the demand for AI fluency and development skills will boom.
Nico, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think that because one of the things that we sort of transmit to the companies and the freelancers that we work with is that we want to be like the epicenter of the future of the workplace. We're going through this transition ourselves internally, and we're spending a lot of time understanding how to become a proper AI fluent or AI native organization, and I think that this is the journey in which we're at the moment. We have 100 people in the team, and it's even though like we're all like committed, like you see that there are like some friction that pops up here and there, and I think that it's important for us to understand that before we can keep on like showing the way to the companies that we collaborate with. So we're currently doing this assessment internally in order to understand like what are the implications, and it all comes with having like what we have called internally Saker's Mind, which is basically having all the knowledge of the organization in the same place, and it's way easier to say it than to make it happen. And this is something that we're seeing, and yeah, it's
Petra.
Yeah, so for us, I think call it AI fluency or human fluency, I don't know, but for us it's obviously it's going to be the intersection between human and AI and how they collaborate as AI is advancing, as humans are advancing in the technology space. So finding that balance, and we're always evaluating where AI does the best job, where humans does the best job, and how they can collaborate to amplify each other.
So Petra, Sundell, thank you very much. Nico de Luis, thank you very much. Carrol Chang, thank you for joining us on Somewhere on Earth from Web Summit Lisbon 2025. Just a little reminder that we are part of the Evergreen Podcast Network, so do check out some of their other shows. The production manager, as is every week, is Liz Tuohy. The editor is myself. If you want to get in touch, write to us at hello@somewhereonearth.co. That's hello@somewhereonearth.co. And do look us up. We are now back on TikTok. Soap Tech Pod, I believe we are, as we have a new young content creator helping us at the moment. So if you want to see some nice videos from Lisbon, please check us out there. Otherwise, we hope you'll be back next week.